Yeah, so been in the industry coming up to 20 years. I haven't got a motor trade background. Worked in publishing when I was growing up. I'm 60 next year, so if you work that out, it was in the 80s. Also worked for the print union Sogat at the time, and worked my way through. And then when the industry sort of declined, set my own independent business up in publishing. But then also went into other sectors like working for the government in business advice, and also owned a couple of other businesses. So the opportunity came up to take on a small site in the village of Reed. And we set that up. Then my son, who's also a director, was also at Marshall Motor Group at the time. He come in and joined the business, and he adds a little bit of class to the business, I say. I want to retail bangers. I love selling bangers, and he doesn't. So that's the change in the business, really. So.
Hello and welcome to episode 38 of DealerPod, the podcast where we talk to motor trade industry experts nationwide to find out about their businesses and gain any insights that they may have to help you with your car sales operation. My name's Stephen Douglas, and I'm joined today as always by Scott Sibley and Martin Carr. Today's podcast is sponsored by Dealerway, the UK's fastest growing platform for motor dealers to trade cars with reputable, like-minded dealers. Now, before we jump into the episode, I'd really appreciate it if you could just hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the notification bell as well so you never miss an episode. In doing this, it tells YouTube that people are enjoying the show and helps the podcast get seen by more and more people each week. All right, let's get into it. So today's guest is the owner of a leading 250 car plus dealer based in Cambridge called PONKO. I'm delighted to welcome the podcast, Mr. Steve Walker. Hi, Steve, mate. How's it going? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all good. Looking forward to the podcast.
Great stuff. Steve, we'll do a section called This Week in the Motor Trade, so we're just going to jump into that now, and then we'll get on to you,
This Week in the Motor Trade, brought to you by Autograb.
So, This Week in the Motor Trade, sponsored by our partners at Autograb. If you don't know about Autograb, then you need to listen to this, because their sourcing product helps notify dealers all over the country when new private cars are listed for sale on AutoTrader, Motors, Car Gurus, Piston Heads, Gumtree and Facebook, all from one dashboard. You set up your buying filters, you get notified when there's a car listed on any platform using your criteria. Truly a next level tool for buying cars from the public. So make sure you check out the YouTube description below and click the link through to the site. And if you sign up using that link and mention DealerPod, you get a huge 25% discount off your first 3-month subscription. So Autograb has provided us with a slide from their data from the whole UK market. And I'll just bring that up now. We can see on this slide, during the past 3 months, stocks moving a touch slower and dealers are trimming small margin prices off to keep their cars shifting in comparison to February, March and April. So how are you finding the used car market at the minute then, Steve?
This month is good. It's really good. I think we're gonna finish the month really strong. Probably deliver about 170 cars this month.
Excellent.
We're finding that market is quite strong at auction, so we are struggling to replace stock, but we're actively trying. So hopefully, maybe try this new software market, Autograb, and see how that goes.
Yeah, you should have a look. Mm-hmm. It's really good. I've been using it. It's excellent. I've been buying a fair few cars off it, to be fair. How's your week going, Scott?
Yeah, very similar. Good. We'll by the time this goes out, it'll be into next month, but. Yeah, we'll finish the month, or we'll be finishing the month good. So much better than June. June was horrendous, but this month's been good. Yeah, all good. Busy workshop, body shop, everything, all that's all just like busy. So yeah, good.
Martin, how about Dealerway? How's Dealerway getting on?
Yeah, well, more listings than ever. Seeing a lot more offers coming in this last couple of weeks as well. So it must show that the market's starting to change a little bit better, or a little bit for the better. People looking for stock and so forth. So yeah, it's going very, very well.
Oh, that's good. Good to hear. Everyone's busy as well. I'm quite busy myself as well. We've seen it turn a bit of a corner towards the back end of the month. We've been flat out actually. So we've done another six yesterday.
Good.
I think we've done one this morning as well. So
good.
Canny, happy days.
We've listed. We put on Dealerway actually this morning 2 lovely 7-seaters. which the
All
lads
right.
said we should have retailed.
Oh, the Sorrento and the X-Trail.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the lads said, we should have retailed those at the select site, but we're trying to get it a little bit from the older ones, a little bit more newer, like 18 and above.
Yeah.
So if they don't sell, we're definitely going to retail them. But if somebody wants to buy them, they're good cars. There's nothing wrong with them. Like,
Well, hopefully they probably would have sold by the time this pod goes up.
the time
Anyway,
this goes out, yes, definitely. So people will be looking at them saying, "Where's those cars?" Snooze, you lose.
In today's competitive used car market, staying ahead means finding the right stock at the right price every time. I use AutoGrab to do exactly that. With endless listings and constant market shifts, it's tough to know what's worth chasing, but AutoGrab cuts through the noise. Their platform shows me where the value is, lets me filter for high margin stock, and alerts me when the right cars hit the market. If you want better margins and smarter sourcing, head to autograb.co.uk today. Make sure you mention DealerPod when signing up to get 25% off your first 3-month subscription. So then, Steve, back to you, mate. Can you just tell the DealerPod audience a little bit about yourself and your background, and a little bit about your business and where you are today?
Yeah, so been in the industry probably just coming up to 20 years. I haven't got a motor trade background. Worked in publishing when I was growing up. I'm 60 next year, so if you work that out, it was in the 80s during all the Wapping dispute and et cetera, et cetera. So also worked for the print union SOGAT at the time, and worked my way through, and then come up when the industry sort of declined, set my own independent business up in publishing. But then also went into other sectors like working for the government in business advice, and also owned a couple of other businesses. So yeah, I'm quite new to the industry in some ways. So the opportunity come up to take on a small site in the village of Reed. As you might know, we was previously, or still called in the background, Reed Auto. So that's where the original name came from.
Oh, right.
So yeah, we are still Reed Autos Limited, trading as PONKO. And yeah, we set that up. I think one of my proudest moments is becoming an MOT tester, because we've got an MOT station here. Couldn't do anything else but do MOTs, even though I rarely do. I can't change a bulb on a car, or I couldn't do anything else. But, I wanted to be an MOT tester because I think it was just important for the business to, have that kind of respect from everybody else. So, yeah, that was my key moment. So,
Yeah. So, obviously, a little bit of a checkered background, different background from what we'll normally see on the podcast for like a car dealer, independent car dealer, business owned. How did you get in the car trade, and how did that come about?
I just think that it was an opportunity to come up. I'd sold another business, and we were moving house, because the business I owned was a business and a home together. And the opportunity come up, and I kind of just sort of got into it. Wasn't sure what I was going to do. Still had a business in publishing, and then that kind of grew, and we done well. It actually is an interesting story for Auto Trader fans or non-fans here. I was stocking about 30 cars, and I remember back in the day going on Auto Trader for the first time ever, and we kind of went live on a Friday. And I remember turning up about 8 o'clock, 7:30 on a Saturday morning, with literally a queue of people and phone calls and inquiries from Auto Trader. And credit to Auto Trader, we really built our business off the back of that, and did spend a lot of money, and we still do. I know there's opinions based on that, but it still is the number one platform for advertising. But yeah, we built our business from that, and things went on from there, really. So. Then my son, who's also a director, was also at Marshall Motor Group at the time. He come in and joined the business, and he adds a little bit of class to the business, I say, where I'm a little bit more. I want to retail bangers. I love selling bangers,
Right.
and he doesn't. So yeah, that's the change in the business, really. So
What's the desire for the bangers?
I don't know. I just sort of feel like there's sometimes really good margins in older cars. I like to retail out of everything I possibly can. We have our own warranty brand, which is Warranty Protect, which we run and administrate ourselves. We've got a full workshop of 9 ramps, and we can deal with most things, really. So I kind of sometimes feel like it's all, look, business is about profit. You can earn sometimes more profit out of a £2,000 or £3,000 car than you can a 10 grand, 20 grand car. Turnover is vanity, profit is sanity. So that's what I feel. So.
Yeah. Does that not come with some issues though? When I actually looked on your website before starting this podcast, and I've seen you before actually online and noticed you before because you've got quite obviously a unique name and you've got some good branding as well, I noticed. But I was quite surprised to see that like maybe 50% of your stock was like under £8,000. Yeah, it's quite surprising. I've not really seen a dealer of your size have that many. Normally when people start off in that sort of end, don't they? And then they go up and up and up. They get a lot more cars, and they tend to end up in like the 10 to 15, 15 to 20 and beyond range. But you seem to have, like you said, stuck at the lower end, which is it's interesting. Like
it's a good point. We did go down that route at one stage, and we was 7 years, 70,000 miles, and we just wasn't getting the margins, and also we felt that we wasn't getting the stock turn margins, and we was always also competing in a market where it's quite saturated, and we felt that we was coming up against other businesses, buying stock sometimes that you guys see it, you buy stock, and there's another 80 of those cars on the net. You're in there bouncing, trying to get a deal out of it, and we just thought it was hard work. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't maybe move a little bit newer. I think maybe we should, but it's what you're like at the back end, and when things go wrong is the most important thing, and that is where we excel. As soon as there's a problem with a car here, we deal with it. I'm passionate about rejections. We have a scorecard. I think we've had about 3 rejections this year so far. And it's dealing with finance companies that they just bend over too easily to the customer. When sometimes I feel the customer doesn't even want to reject the car. They're looking for a solution, and the finance company, I just think, just want to create the Sales of Goods Act, and to be honest, they've really got on my side now, the finance companies, because they really understand what I'm trying to do is to keep the customer in the car is the number one priority for us. And whatever the problem, our default is not to have a rejection, is to get the car back.
Yeah, I completely agree. We had more and more people mention it. We had Ian Gardner on from Logistics last week, and obviously he was getting into a lot of that. Finance companies, playing the line of like the ombudsman and what the ombudsman will do. So we need to nip it in the bud now and let the customer out the agreement. And I see it in my business all the time. It's hard, but if you've got, like you said, 9 ramps in the back end to resolve those issues quickly, then all the better for it. It seems you mentioned obviously you were quite new to the car industry. When did you start PONKO then? Like, how long have you been doing it?
Well, so Reed Autos obviously started approximately, I think, 15, 17 years ago as a business. PONKO is obviously the name that changed about 4 or 5 years ago.
So sorry, Steve. So did you start Reed Autos then? Or?
Oh yeah, I started it. I started on my own.
Right.
With a porter cabin with some cars. Yeah.
So you're not that fresh to the industry then?
No, I'm not fresh to the industry, but I'm not, I'm not born and bred car industry, and I find a lot of people that you come across have been in the industry for years, or they're ex-mechanic, or they've been salespeople in the industry, and I'm not. So
yeah, I got you. You just threw us off a little bit because you don't look your age, you look younger.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
So what's the operation look like now then, Steve? Where you at today? How many staff you got?
So approximately 40 staff. We stock. We like to try and get 300 cars on site. As you know, it's not always easy to get to that. We've got about 10 courtesy cars, 3 delivery trucks, and a full MOT workshop, body shop, and valeting. So we try and keep everything in house. Everything in house. We rarely sub anything. We don't use main agents for warranty. We use AutoLogic, Autel, and we fix things. We find a solution to problems without having to ship the car off to a main agent if we can. I mean, it's rare. I think 1 a month maybe goes to main agent, but the rest of it we do ourselves.
What about your prep, Steve? You're saying some of your half the cars are like under $8,000. Are you putting them all out with like all 12 months fresh MOT because you do it in house, or if they've still got MOT on them, do you redo them, or how far do you go with the prep on the older cars?
Okay, so I think we're really really good at this. I think we currently use the auto stock as a Kanban board. I think I maybe mentioned to you before, Scott, and we're in touch with exactly what's going on all the time. So every car comes in for an inspection. If that car has got less than 6 months MOT, we put a new MOT on it. We do a full inspection of the vehicle, including driving it, everything, scanning it. We're averaging from the car landing to fully prep, we're averaging 4 days. Now that includes body shop, workshop, photos. So we come in holdings, and then valet full photos. So yeah, some stuff is obviously longer than 4 days, but on average we're 4 days. And it's the key, really. That is the key to the business, because we want to get things in and out quickly and get them up for sale. So cars land sometimes and they're back out the door again. A car coming yesterday and it's sold today. So yeah, it's tough and it takes a lot of work, but we are a complete machine at it. And it works.
Do you advertise them before they come on, before you receive the car, or is it literally full prep then advertise?
Advertise as soon as it's brought, as soon as the buyer buys it. There's someone sitting in the office who lists the cars. He lists them with the photos from BCA Manheim or wherever they come from. That car's listed. As soon as it hits the site, we get it delivered. We reset the timer on it, because obviously that's not fair, because if it takes 7 days to get here, we've not had it in stock for 7 days. So we hit the timer for them. But no, we're retailing as soon as the car is not even paid for. Sometimes we're hitting the door. So yeah, again, there's pros and cons with that. We put ourselves under pressure, but we all thrive on. All of us thrive on pressure, don't we? Let's face it, guys. That's what makes us tick, really. So,
yeah, definitely.
And what about Steve? What about margins? Without getting too into it, the cheaper cars. You said before that sometimes you can get a bigger margin, which I agree with. I mean, sometimes we've got like cars for $30,000 and they're reduced to clear. There's nothing in them. And you can get some nice margins out of the cheaper ones. But do you find it's hard keeping them away? Do you get quite a few, even if you prep them well to a good standard? Do you not find that you're getting quite a few like will come back, and then which is like late costs which come out of the original margin?
You do, but obviously don't forget we're taking the warranty cost. We take the full margin of the warranty because it's our product.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you the figures, but we do a ridiculous amount on warranty, and all it costs us is us to repair the car. We're passionate about getting cars back here when customers got problems, rarely pay other garages. And if that means us going to collect the car, we do that. Not only because we want to keep the cost in-house. I just feel that sometimes, with no disrespect to other garages, they sometimes just don't know what they're doing. We've got a car in there.
Yeah.
We're faffing around for days. The customer then gets the car repaired and it's still not solved the problem. So get the thing back, we fix it, and the car's back out the door. So, that's really important to us.
And you mentioned warranties there. How much do you retail one of your warranties for? Is it like a 1 year, 2 year? How does that work?
So we only do up to a year. I think the warranty, is not something I don't really involve myself in sales. I think a year is about 500, and I think 6 months is 250, but there might be some variations in that. We're just literally just relaunching it now. We've relaunched our warranty products as of the 1st of August with a new book and some new terms, some new T's and C's. We're taking a few things out that are basically driving us mad, like TPMS sensors. So we're taking them out because it's just frustrating.
Yeah. So that's your own. You mentioned earlier that's your own warranty product, and you're not using insurance back. You're just doing those yourself. And you've got a company administering those for you, or are you just doing all that yourself?
No, we do it. We do everything. We run the whole thing. We run the book. We run the phone calls. We run if you go on the website, Warranty Protect, there's an online booking form. I'm going to be honest. This is something that I might consider rolling out further, because I really feel that it's. I know there's people doing it A1, and you've got a lot of respect for them guys, but I do think we do it slightly differently, and I do feel that dealers I've got no problem with warranty companies, and there's some great warranty companies out there. But again, it's what the customer gets frustrated, and that's what we don't, customers still get frustrated, whatever you do from, if you read some of the reviews that I've got, and they're bad reviews sometimes, and we fix their car and they've got their car back, but they still want to leave a bad review. And it's just, sometimes it baffles me, but that's it. Of course it's frustrating, but your local restaurant gets knocked if that if they do something, something's not right. It's just the way of the world, so I think we guys are probably a bit hardened to it. So,
and do you feel, how we obviously the price range of the cars that you do, what's the sort of distance? Is it local? Because if you've got that customer service level at the back end, then having local customers, the ease of going to pick cars up and making things right, I suppose, is a bit easier. Do you find that price bracket helps you in that, keeping the customer service level high?
Yeah, I think people come from all over the place, but nothing's too far away. I mean, we was dropping pins with Auto Trader, and that did sometimes get into a little bit of a problem because we had a lot of cars going to Cornwall and Devon, etc., which was causing some trouble. So we pulled them pins now. Whether we go back to it, I don't know. I mean, it was probably giving us a few more sales, but the rejection is just an issue because you're delivering a car, someone's not happy, and they've got you over a barrel, and then you're picking a car up back from Cornwall again, and you're not resolving the problem, and that that lacks the service. But to answer your question about the older cars, it's all about the profit. The car comes in part exchange. Obviously, we don't buy older cars as such. They come in part exchange. We paid next to nothing for them. We check the thing over. We see whether it's feasible to retail it. If we can prep it and retail it, our levels of prep might not be to the levels of your prep. I think that we get the car roadworthy and legal, but we don't. I don't think we over prep anything, and that's another thing we've cut back a lot on, and we've saved fortunes on. We don't find we get a lot of problem with people back end complaining about prep, and if they do, we just deal with it. If a customer takes the car away and they go, "Look, I bought this car and I'm not really happy with the tyres," we just put the tyres on. And you've got to be good back end. That's the thing. If you're going to get away with cutting back on prep, you've got to be really, really good back end office. We've got an office of people, team of people dealing with the calls constantly. So we're on it all the time. So if a customer says I'm not happy, if I've done 50 cars and I put tyres on them and I haven't done them 50 cars, if 5 customers ring up,
you're ahead. You're massively ahead.
Steve, what percentage of cars are you delivering out of your stock?
Not many. I mean, it's just interesting how that's kind of gone away a little bit now. We feel it's probably 5 a month, 10 a month. I just think that the whole interesting thing with after lockdown, where that was still kind of hot, people want to touch and feel again now.
Yeah, it's dropping off, isn't it?
That's come back. We've got 2 enclosed trucks. We can do it, but to be honest, I got rid of a driver sort of 6-8 months ago because we just weren't doing the volume, and they got to drive Class 7, so it complicates it a little bit. So we try not to deliver if we can. I don't think it's if you can get the customer here, it always works out better. So you just got to do your best, really. And
Auto Trader, you mentioned, which package are you on, and who else do you advertise with, or is it mainly just Auto Trader?
That's probably a question for Sam. I think we're on a reasonably good package. We're definitely not on the basic. Got a really good relationship with Auto Trader. We've known them for years. Yeah. We think they've got a lot more credibility than what people would like to think. But we're on everything else. We're on eBay. We're on Motors. We're on Car Gurus. Right. Probably other stuff, AA cars. We're on everything.
And do you have all your stock listed on all those platforms?
I think so. Yeah, I think Auto Trader, we've got virtually everything.
So you'll have like 250, 300 car package with Auto Trader.
Possibly, yeah. Sam would probably say probably a little bit less than that, because I think when stuff drops in order, obviously it comes off straight away. Yeah. And obviously stuff that's probably off-site initially, if it's off-site, i.e. we bought it and we wouldn't, if we didn't have spaces, we've probably got about 200 cars, I would have said. Right. Realistically, that's probably what we've got. But again, that's probably a question for my son.
200 calls, though, that must generate a lot of inquiries, I would have thought, from what especially in the price bracket that you're in as well, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, we do get a lot of leads, and it is pretty crazy at weekends, which again is something that we try and manage by not doing handovers at weekends. We actually put a charge on customers to pick a car up on a Saturday, because unless they're walking or they've not seen the car, but we try and avoid the Saturday and Sunday chaos, because we could just sell more cars if we've got available staff. We run a team of 6 salespeople, all predominantly young guys, hungry. If they mess us around, we just fire them. Basically,
Brutal.
They're just not keen. Well, we're not brutal. The money's there to be earned. There's boys doing good money here, and
I get it.
Like, if you're going to mess us around and you're not interested, then I think one's going today apparently. So there you go. So
if hot off the press.
If not, you'll find out on the next pod.
Well, yeah.
What about back end fees, admin fees, all that kind of stuff? Do you charge anything like that or not? Or is it just your standard price?
Only obviously external finance fees we do. We don't do an admin fee as such, as far as I know.
Right.
We just obviously sell Paint Pro and Warranty. They're the only 2 products we do. Sometimes we feel if we crowd the market a little bit with the other prods, we just end up not set. You just don't sell stuff. So sometimes doing our most profitable, which are Paint Pro and obviously the Warranty, then that's the key thing for us. We want to get that in there every time. And we've got a really good pen on Warranty, really, really good pen, because we only give a 1 month free warranty with the car. We don't give anything else. Because we're all about the upsell. We're not interested in. We just give the 1 month, 250, bring the car back. We know that if something goes wrong within a month, we've got to deal with it. However, we try and sell the warranty.
Do you not get any feedback off the customers when you mention, it's a 1 month warranty?
Well, of course we do, yeah. But they know that we're selling the warranty, So that's the key to it. We're price sharp, so they can go and buy a car with a 6 month, 12 month, but they're going to pay more for the car, aren't they? So everything's relevant. So we factor everything into the deal. So
And what is your warranty penetration then?
I don't know. I need to check with Jay. I've got a feeling it's 60-70%. It's something quite good.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's good. So
you're not that. That's interesting. That's a good little side business, isn't it? So you're knocking them out at 500 quid, and you're doing like big numbers.
We're doing really good numbers, actually. We've got a couple of GMs here, and felt a little bit negative about warranty, because you can get battered sometimes. You come in on a Monday morning and you're battered with messages and phone calls, and I sat him down and I just said, look at the numbers we're doing here, and the volume and the amount of money is. You got to keep your eyes on the bigger picture. I think us in the motor trade, I think we sometimes get sucked into some of the small stuff. Just guys, look at your turnover. Look at your gross and look at your net. They're the numbers you need to be looking at. They're the figures. Get arguing about little things. Sometimes you just take up too much energy. You just have to have your eyes on the bigger numbers all the time. So,
what about claims limit on your warranties, Steve? Do you cap that, or where's that end up?
Well, that's interesting, Scott, because we just changed it. I'm gonna shock you all. We was only doing a limit of £1,000 per claim. We're just about to increase it to 2,000 because the boys feel they can sell more warranty. So if a customer 8 months down the line tries to claim something that's $3,000, they're contributing $2,000. So we look. Everything can have goodwill, and this is obviously you've always got to remember. What we're saying and what we're doing is sometimes two different things. It's important to just make sure that you're sometimes doing the right thing. And if it's your responsibility, you sometimes have to stand up and just deal with it. But, sometimes it's not. People do things, and, customer had a car a year, drove 20,000 miles and told me I had a suspension fault. I mean, we're not doing nothing about that. No. They're upset, but you just have to face it up. And sometimes you've got to call them and just tell them the truth. But some people don't like that, as you know. Mm-hmm. That's a tough thing. That's a tough thing at times. I have to have quite resilient staff to be able to deal with this. So, and I've got a great team, really great team.
You mentioned your workshops. Do you do any retail work outside for the body shop and the workshop, or is it just all internal?
We do, and it's interesting you say that, Scott, because I always think we're not a dissimilar business to you. We're actually Bosch Car Service, as you know.
All right.
But the reason we try and focus on our prep more than our doing retail work is that we do retail. We've got some long-standing customers. We don't turn it down, but we weighed everything up to what was important to us and where we think our profit, and obviously doing our own warranty work and doing our own prep and doing it quick and dealing with major problems that go wrong. We think that's a better option for us. We're going to make more money that way, and we're not too many. You know how hard it is to get texts. I mean, it's a nightmare. And if you try to get out of all these extra texts to do all these other jobs, there's a lot of juggling. So, I mean, I can confidently say there is one non-runner on this site that's been a little bit of a nightmare. Well, we don't have stacks of cars not running. No cars sit here not moving. We fix them. If a car breaks or we get a car in with a problem, we are fixing it. Obviously, anything to do with Man Iron and BCA, we're on the case straight away. We've got a young lady that runs the claims with the auctions. She's straight on it if there's a problem with the vehicle. You don't win them all, and in respect to the auction houses. We want to remain classy with them. Do you know what I mean? We don't feel that, try to have them over and things is the way forward. We want to be honest with them. If we think something's wrong, otherwise it just comes back at you. If you try and get away with something, then that's just not for us. We just say that you're saying wrong. And if they say no, we just take it on the chin. We just have to live it up. But, that's life, and I think sometimes we do all right and sometimes we don't. But, it's about speed. Everything's about speed. If you ever come, I mean, we've got people move cars around on site here. We our techs and no one move cars. We have site movement on radios, on Trello, on WhatsApp. They move the cars. No salespeople, no mechanics move cars here. We move all the cars. They organise the site. They bring the cars in and out. They get the cars ready for the next day. We do not have technicians moving cars. They're too valuable. They're our strikers. They're the ones scoring the goals for us.
It's a strange, really, because you would think back in the day the salesman would be the striker, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you see that.
To be true, they are, but I'm more of an operations person. Interestingly, I'm doing a little bit in sales at the moment because I wasn't happy with the numbers last month, so I do these things. I don't work anywhere in the business as such, but I do things where I like to shake departments up, and I just get involved and I just go in there. I drive everyone mad. There's normally some casualties, which there's been a couple.
That was actually going to be my next question to you, Steve. I was going to say, well, so what is your role in the business? But obviously you've just answered it. So you're literally just, I'm going to have a week in here and a week in this department and it's all out, yeah.
Yeah, really. I haven't got an office. I don't sit in an office. Sometimes you can see me wandering around with a broom. Next minute I'm in the workshop. Next minute I'm in an office. Next minute I'm in sales. So I don't have an office. I don't have a desk. I wander around with my laptop, plotting up somewhere where I want to be. So I'm quite popular with staff. I'm very direct and very straight, but also I'm kind of motivate people, and I'm quite honest with people, and most of them like me. The ones that don't tend to last, really, to be honest with you.
Like me, you're off.
Rules with an iron fist, mate, doesn't he?
I don't want to say that in a harsh way, but normally,
no.
The guys I've got, we've got some incredible people who've been here for a long time, and I've got absolutely respect for them, and some great young people coming through. But I would do anything for them and they would do anything for me. And some of them, if I was broke down at 11, 12 o'clock at night and I picked the phone up, they would do it for me and I would do it for them. So, that's how it works. That's how we work together. So,
a quick message from our sponsors, Dealerway. Attention DealerPod listeners, do you want a better, quicker, more profitable way of trading out of your part exchanges or overage stock? List your cars on Dealerway today and connect with over 2,000 vetted trade buyers actively looking for vehicles. No hidden fees, no hassle. Start your own custom auctions from your desk or the palm of your hand in our game-changing app. or advertise your stock on quick, easy, buy it now listings to our eager buyers who are waiting to quickly acquire vehicles. What are you waiting for? Join Dealerway today at dealerway.co.uk and streamline your disposals.
Have you got any stories about staff that you've let go that you can think of off the top of your head? Any interesting ones?
I think one lad locked himself in the toilet and refused to leave. But and another young lady, she was working in Valet. She come in a few days and spoke to the GM and said, could she be sacked because she wanted to get some benefits or something? She was had an attendance issue, and she said, "Oh, just best if I go. Can you get rid of me? It'll be helpful if you get rid of me." Then when we did, she threw a massive tantrum, and she stood in the middle of the main dual carriage trunk road that we're outside of, and just stood in the middle of it screaming.
Wow.
So yeah, obviously she had some problems, but obviously you try and do the right things. There's lots of stories about staff, isn't there? Some people you get rid of, and they're actually really nice people. We had a site movement lad. He's such a lovely lad. He was so good, but he just kept crashing the cars all the time. I just said, you're just going to have to go because you just keep crashing stuff. I said, you're costing me a fortune. But honestly, he's such a nice lad. But what do? You you can't keep telling him. He just couldn't. He didn't know what he was doing. So he went. But I still keep in contact with him. So
we just took a video lad on at our place. He's shooting content for social media and what have you. And a great guy, and his work's excellent. Problem is, one of the lads come to us the other day and he says, "Stephen, I need to have a word." I says, "Oh, what is it?" He says, "Mark, the new video lad." He says, "Oh, what's the problem?" He says, "Well, I got in a car this morning that he took out last night," and he says, "And it stunk a clutch." And I was like, "All right." So he goes, "I think he's riding the clutches on the cars." He says, "So I went into another car that he had earlier in the morning." He says, and that was exactly the same. So we walked up to his car, because obviously I didn't know what car he was driving. We walked up to his car, and sure enough, he's driving an automatic. So we went and seen him, and we says, "Look, Mark," I says, "I'm not being funny enough." I says, "But have you have got a manual license, have you?" Because obviously he's literally just thought, "I haven't got all these bits and pieces off me yet." He goes, "No, yeah, I've got a manual license." "Well, why? What's up?" And obviously we had to tell him, and he was just laughing about it. To be fair, he says, "Oh, really sorry, blah blah blah." So I says, "We might have to get you a few more driving lessons because we can't have you knacking all the clutches and riding all the clutches of the cars." Yeah.
It's bad enough with customers doing it, isn't it?
It
I mean,
is,
that's. I mean, clutch. I don't know if you're getting the same, Scott, but clutches and master cylinders. I don't know what's going on, but we just seem to be doing master cylinder after master cylinders on Astras, Focuses, Golfs. I just
snap.
Yeah,
I just don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, it seems to be a new thing. It's like a new fashion. But we're now doing all these master cylinders.
We find now, as soon as a car faults, people are just like, right, I want money back. And I want compensation as well. I was talking to Ben about it. And
compensation?
Yes, loads of them. Yeah, loads.
Really?
It seems to be on like the up now. I don't know if it's like, well, obviously it used to be the American culture, didn't it, about we want compensation. Yeah. But now it's like, want money back. And we'll say, "Oh no, we'll fix it and we'll do this and don't worry and all that." And you've only had the car like 3 or 4 weeks or whatever. And they're just like, "Nah, I want to rewind the deal. My friend did it up the road and they got a new car." And you just think, like, for people who've bought a car, if they don't expect it to go wrong, I mean, the chances are something will go wrong, which we were talking about with logistics on the last pod. It's just hard work, isn't it? But then I don't know if it's this new culture where people are, I want compensation.
See, I think it's age, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a bit, it's like buying a pair of jeans, like we've said at the Metro Centre, and you ring them up, or they're faulty, but I want compensated. I want petrol money to bring the jeans back.
Yeah,
it's just like you wouldn't embarrass yourself.
Yeah,
we get it all the time when we get after sales issues, and they come and say, "Well, I've had to take a day off work, so you're going to reimburse me for that?"
Yeah, we get that.
No,
we get that a lot.
It's funny. Simon Jordan was on about it. He was basically saying, if you think about it, all these influencers now are painting this picture of get everything for now, and you know what I mean, living a life that you haven't got the funds to live. And it's just breeding this into the younger generations. It's a sort of self entitlement.
Yeah, I think we just give a silent close, and it's just no, and then we just shut up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. You get quoted the law a lot, and my first default to that. Well, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not interested in the law. I'm just interested in fixing your car. I said I'm not interested in law, but the sales are good. That blah blah blah, and then I don't know, logistics might disagree with me. The law is only the law if it's proven in court. The law is not the law until it's tried. So our opinion on the law would only be based on what's tried in court. So if I disagree with someone on a legal situation, i.e., we quite remember if a customer has got a fault within 30 days, they need to provide evidence that there is a fault, i.e., they can't just say there is a fault. There needs to be evidence.
Yeah.
The evidence needs to be provided. Can't be a screenshot of a diagnostics machine. How many of them do we get? But that the FOS say that's not a recognised way of reporting a problem. And like I say to the customer, well, okay, we'll go down the legal route if that's what you want. The current rate of small claims court is 9 months to a year. Are you happy to park your car up for 9 months to a year and not move it for 9 months to a year, or should we just get it sorted out? And 99% of the time they say, let's just get it sorted out, because the court proves the court is what says what's right and wrong, not me and you, because neither of us, no matter what advice they're getting off the internet, is irrelevant. The law is just what you're being told. It has to be proven.
What was he saying? In 56 weeks to get it seen in court.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, 56 weeks on average.
Wow.
Well, I know how many cars we sell, and we're issues the same as everyone else. I don't think I've ever been to a court, touch wood. I don't think I've ever been to court over a customer, not once. Not one. I've had a few cases through finance companies that, finance companies have told me this car's got to be unwound and it's going to go to the ombudsman and all the rest of it, but I've never been to court.
No.
So that'd be a new one.
We get the threats. To be fair, we try and get out of it because of the cost now. I've got a current one where a guy has had a car, about a 5-year-old Fiesta, and a garage has told him that the wet belt needs doing. He's had it for 4 or 5 months. The wet belt needs doing, and you need to pay for it. I said, well, we're not going to pay for it because it's not due. Therefore, what we do, we'll book you in our place and we'll work some deal out. He decides not to. He goes and pays for it, and then he takes me a call. I get on really well with the guy. I said, give you a lift to court if you want. I said, way it goes is the way it goes. I said, it's nothing personal, but I'm not going to give you 1,600 quid to do a wet belt for a garage. And funny enough, I ring the garage up and I say, you said to the customer it needs a wet belt. He goes, yeah, we're doing loads of these. I said, I bet you are. I bet you are. I said, because you keep telling every customer that they need the wet belt doing. I said, so, and again, I think that's another headline thing with cars, everything needs a wet belt. It's just a new thing now that every car, if a car's serviced properly, it don't need a wet belt. The wet belts are not snapping. They're fraying and they're blocking the strainer, and that's starving the oil. That's what's happening. So obviously the car's serviced correctly, drop the sump, check it, and normally it's not a problem. And anyway, a EcoBoost engine is 1,600 quid off the shelf from either sell. That's what we do. We just put an engine in.
Are you buying many of the EcoBoosts?
Yeah, we do all right.
Yeah,
we do quite a lot. If they come back warranty, straight away, engine in. Got a lad who gets the engine in and out in day and a half. He won't mind me mentioning his name, Glenn. He's a superstar. He's been here since he was about 15. He's got the engine in and out, and we're back on the road again. Don't forget that's belted as well. The car comes with an engine. It's all belted. Everything's done. We've got to do nothing to it. We plop it in and plop it out again, and off the customer goes. So, if there's a problem, we just don't mess around. We just get it done.
They frighten the life out of me, those 1 litre Fiestas. I used to handball them out like they were going out of fashion, but they would come back as quicker than they would go out. And I just, they've just knocked that on the head now. But I don't have the setup that you've got, with a team of mechanics behind us to fix the problems. But yeah, is there any cars you do avoid?
I think some of the older power shifts, I've had a few, because we don't do boxes.
Yeah.
That's one thing we can't do. That's $3,000 down the line. We try and avoid that. But yeah, there's obviously bits and pieces. But you've got to. The buyer's quite young. He's only 25, and he's a bit upset recently because I've started taking a little bit of money out of stuff that's coming back quite quickly. But we've improved the margins by prepping less. So he's now smiling again because he started seeing his in commission approved. But he's just a bit, he was a little bit of experience. He won't mind me saying that he's improved massively. And I'm really, really pleased with him. But you know it's like standing in an auction. Everyone gets it wrong still. Things go wrong. You buy the wrong car. It's just the way it is, But
part of the game, innit?
Part of the game. It's part of the fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Steve, I need to ask you, where did the name PONKO come from?
Yeah, that's interesting, wasn't it? Everyone asked that. So really, in a nutshell, it means nothing, and it doesn't mean anything. So just before lockdown, sort of year before lockdown, we were looking heavily on going online and selling cars and delivering cars to people's houses, a bit like Cinch and Kazoo and Kazam were doing. And we just kind of decided that that was the way forward. We kind of missed the bus a little bit with the with the lockdown thing, and we needed a name that was short. We own that name as a domain name, and a name to mean nothing, because the problem is you can be called something, but in France it might mean something that's not right, or so we needed just a name, and it means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. We didn't want to be called Rude Autos because we felt it was relevant to where we'd come from, and we felt we wanted that online name. So it is just an online name, and that is it. So
do you think it has any effect on buyers, like when they search on an Auto Trader or what have you, like clicking on your ads? Do you think it helps, or would you not know?
Well, I mean, when people say, "Well, what's the name all about?" I'll say, "Well, what did Kazoo mean? What did Cinch mean? Cinch does mean something, but what does Kazam mean?" It's just the name, and I don't think we pay a lot of attention to it. I think it's like anything. Some people think it's funny. Some people don't understand what it is, but it's just our name, and we don't really pay a lot of attention to it, really. So we're quite unique in the way we're set up. So we're not an open forecourt. We've got everything behind the fence. You come into a reception, which is it's like a coffee shop kind of environment. With complimentary coffee, and it's the vibe is very like coffee shop type vibe. And we then bring the cars around to the customers, because it's too vast to have people walking around trying to look for over 300 cars. So that causes a bit of frustration. Because people just rock up and they want to see a selection of cars, and they want to walk around looking at cars. But, we made that decision because then people don't tend to buy. Let's face it, the people walk around who are coming to look at 20 cars tend not to be buyers. The people that have looked online, decided their journey and what they're here to see, tend to be the buyers. So you don't want to waste your time with people that, I'm not saying you shouldn't deal with them, but they tend not to... they tend not to be the buyers. So you like that one, didn't you?
Yeah, no, well, I'm looking at your website, Steve. I like the, obviously you've got the turntable in, and I like that. I mean, I've seen this on countless websites where, someone's moving the car around, but the implementation of that one looks really good. What software is that using? Because obviously it's a click dealer website, isn't it? Yeah,
I'm not sure, to be honest. If you said a few names, maybe Intel or Impel or something.
No, I think is that not like the AI chat?
No. It's the photo booth. So it'll be something. It'll be like Spin 360 or something like that.
Yeah,
it's good. I like that.
Yeah,
looks well.
Yeah.
You'll have to email us after this and
I'll
find out what that is.
I know they have a few problems with it. So
right,
we have multiple people that can do photographs. So we would not just got one photographer. Multiple valeters can do the photography. That's why we can do everything quick. So photos are getting taken as soon as cars arrive, even before they're prepped. The cars are coming in the photographs. So
is it like just a touch screen? Put the reg number in, car spins it, and it goes into the DMS.
I think so.
Yeah,
I've never used it.
You're like me, technology.
I was just you've chopped the words out of my mouth there. Steve Walker is the Scott Sibley of
technology.
Yeah.
It's all there, but we don't need to do it, Steve. It's people who do it for us.
No, to be fair, what I was going to say, I wasn't going to mention about technology. I was going to say he's that high up and important that he just doesn't know anything that goes on in the business, like you. He's just like you. He's lost touch with reality because he's making so much money.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think that's the case. I think that I went on a training course once, and it was about how to manage your time or your day and how to deal with what's on your desk. And we all sat in this room to go on these training courses, and they said, right, okay, so went around the room and they all spoke about how they managed to put these things. And I just said, I'll just put it on someone else's desk. And I said, I haven't got anything on my desk. I ain't even got a desk. I said, I'll just give it to someone else. So you just got to be able to delegate. If you can just give someone else's job, that's the key. That's the key. Otherwise, you just become overwhelmed.
Yeah.
There's things you have to do personally sometimes. but most of the time you just want to give it to someone else, and you also empower them. I mean, my staff do say that I do micromanage them a lot, but I micromanage them through. We use Trello, Kanban board system. I don't know if you guys use it.
Yeah, I've used it before.
We use Trello. We run everything through Trello. We run everything through warranty, through everything in the business, photo. Everything is on Trello. So we are on there. We're on VAutostock. We run TechMan. We run Click Dealer. But I'll announce today that we are moving over to DealerKit in September. Been really impressed with the guy that comes around and tells us about it. No, look, Ian's great. I mean,
yeah, he is. Yeah,
really great the way he explains it. We know they're not strong on workshop side, and they openly admit that.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah, we're slightly nervous because of currently our techs are clocking on and off jobs and things. They promised us.
Click Dealer's not great though in the back end, is it?
That's why we moved over to Dragon, so we're fully with Dragon now. And the workshop, there was a lot which Techman did when we originally spoke them and says, "Oh, does it do this, that, and the other?" And it does. One of my first questions was when we spoke them, which was like last July, was. Is your system, like basics, is your system automated? Does it do text and email reminders, automation? And it does. And I've been saying to Ben as well, because a few people who I know say, I never got an MOT reminder, I never got a text. And I say this to Ben, which I've been saying for months. And he says, oh, no, it definitely works. And we've just got to the bottom of it. It's not actually automated. So it's probably cost you thousands in loss for business, loss of customers. Ben sussed out how to fire them all out, and we fired a load out, and then Andy, who's the Bosch manager, he says, what have you done to the system? We've just had like 30 phone calls of people all just waiting to like book in. So we've missed a load because of it, which we're still getting to the bottom of. But there's a few things like that which Techman was much, much better with a workshop. But to be fair to Dragon, everything we've asked for, they are trying to put changes in place, because obviously if we can tell them that the Techman system did this and did that and theirs doesn't, well, they want to try and make their system better. So, but we've had to, ride the storm with it a little while. But they've put loads of changes in which it didn't do, which it does now. So, but I was keen to know about the dealer kit because I've heard good things.
Yeah, I'll keep hearing good about it.
Is anyone on DealerKit here?
No. I'll be honest with you, Steve. I'm wanting to go on it, but I've been wanting to go on it for 6 months. But it's one of those things, isn't it? It's like you're moving your whole business system across to another system, and I'm like, I'm a busy person anyway. I've obviously got the big sales business, got Dealerway, and I've just got too much on. I need the headspace to like sit down and I'm going to tackle this job of moving everything over, because I just know it's going to cause problems somewhere, because we've lived inside Click Dealer in Auto Convert, what we use as well, for the life of the business, and I just. Everyone's used to it. Everyone's comfortable. Everyone knows what they're doing and use it like the back of the hand. And just there'll be. I mean, as fantastic as it looks, there will be things that doesn't do that. And just I haven't got the time for it at the minute. But I'm definitely gonna do it. I'm gonna do it at some point. But need to wait for it to get a bit quiet.
So Steve, you'll be getting a new website as well, then, are you?
I presume so. Again, that's something that we're looking into. They're looking into. I wouldn't have anything to do with that. They'll make a decision, and I'll just say yes. If they ask me what my opinion is, I'll say whatever you think. So
who's there then? Is that your son?
Well, Sam. I mean, Sam's the MD of this business, and Jason is a GM who does more of the sales marketing side, and Adam is more of the what I call overside the fence of the workshop. But we all kind of mix in with each other. So there's four senior people like in what I call the leadership team. My daughter works in HR and accounts, and my wife works in accounts, not missing a penny or not missing an invoice.
It's like what it is. It's like listening to you. It's like a mirror image of what we do.
Yeah,
my daughter's an accounts. My wife, they're on the banks all the time, and then there's different different department people. Exactly the same. It's like a mirror image.
Yeah. Well, I've always said that, Scott. I think you are, very similar to us. Apart from you've got a weird accent. I think that's
no. Yours is weird. Ours is normal.
But you've got one thing in common, that you support a team that's just won something after a long time, the same as me. I'm a massive Spurs fan, so
all right. What a
you're
shame.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't think there's no rivalry between Newcastle
No,
and
not
Spurs.
really.
is
Not.
there?
Not
I often think that's not one of them, is it? It's just, we've got our own rivals, but there's not each other, is it? So
No.
Yeah.
I think we're both going to struggle this season.
I was going to say
so-
less of the football talk at the minute.
I know.
It's all going wrong.
yeah.
For us, it is.
It
At the
is,
minute,
yeah.
this bloody transfer window is crap.
Never known anything like it.
Well, yeah.
So, Steve, have you got any, I suppose, advice for any aspiring car dealer who's maybe watching this podcast and maybe someone who's already running an operation? They might have 30, 40 cars in stock, and they hear someone like you talking who's obviously got this big business and loads of staff and big turnovers and what have you, and thinks, how do I do that? How do I get there? What do I need to do?
Well, first of all, I think if you are doing 40 cars and you're doing well at it, I wouldn't change a thing. I mean, I think it's all right to inspire to have bigger and better, but that's not always, go back to my earlier point, turnover is vanity, profit is sanity. I think that, I don't think you've just got to sell what makes money. There's no point in getting into things that, I want to sell this, I want to sell that because of some kind of passion. I've got no passion for cars. I don't even have a car myself. I'm not interested in the car. I wouldn't want to drive around in an expensive car because it would just depreciate and it would just do my brain in. So I'm just driving my other courtesy cars normally, or any old thing that I can see laying around. Not interested in the car. I just think if you really, the way that you make money in life, and I say this to a lot of young people, it's just assets. Assets are what make you money. Your turnover and your wages and what you're earning yourself is irrelevant. We've got our stock here of 300 cars. We've got minimal debt, a couple of £100,000 worth of debt against the business. And I just think, you have to have low overheads. Don't get sucked into some expensive site that's going to cost you, thousands of pounds. You just really, really need to focus on the profit. Is at the end of the day, that's the main thing. I think some people get sucked in. They want to sell this flash car and they want to sell that, and they want to be this and they want to be that, and it's just not for me, really. So, I think that it's just about making money. So take the everything else out of it, really.
What are you passionate about then Steve, outside of work? Then, if it's not flash cars, you haven't even got a desk. What are you into?
Spurs football, obviously I go there. I've got 4 nice seats at Spurs, so any you're welcome at any time as a guest if you want to come down.
Definitely, mate. I'll take you up on that when we play you.
I was going to say, it's one stadium I'd love to visit.
Yeah, I've been. It's fantastic. Yeah. It's amazing, to be fair, the stadium.
Yeah, we're just left of the director's box, so we kind of see all the comings and goings, and we see everyone, so it's nice. I'm passionate about just family, probably holidays, which I don't get enough of, really, because of just circumstances. My dog's not been well, so not been able to get away. Just that, really. Nothing really. Pretty humble. I think life's, I'm just happy plodding along, really. As you get older, not that bothered about too much, really. Don't drink, really, so not really passionate about anything apart from football, really. And family. I better say family.
Yeah,
in case they watch it.
I feel when I'm getting older, I care less about most things. I just couldn't care less. Just goes over my head. Yeah. I used to have an opinion about things when I was younger. Now I just can't be bothered.
Nah, me too. No, it's just not bothered yet.
See, from a professional side of it, you are very, very similar, but outside of work, you are polar opposites.
Yeah.
Scott doesn't like football, I like and drinks a lot.
I'm cutting down on the drink, man. I told you.
That's why Scott looks 10 years older than Steve. He's probably 10 years younger.
Last night, I had a big gin and tonic last night and 2 glasses of wine. The night before, I had a bottle of wine and a big gin and tonic and a whiskey. But I slept better.
Yeah, I probably haven't drunk for probably 30 days. I haven't had one alcoholic drink. So,
really?
It doesn't bother me. I will go drink when I go to football. I like when I go to Dealerway, like a couple of beers, but apart from that, or in a night out, but not sitting indoors. I'm not that fussed about it.
I can go for months without a drink, but I just quite like the taste of it sometimes, like a nice glass of wine on a night time. It just helps relax. So, but I haven't got any alcohol issues.
I would say just relax.
It does absolutely nothing for me. Like, I couldn't think anything worse than sitting in the house having a drink.
Oh, I can have a glass of wine.
What's a wine now?
When I go out, I'll have a good drink. I make up for it when I go out, to be fair. But like, it's the last thing on my mind. I could think about you sitting at home, I'm going to have a drink. But I'm going to have a good drink this weekend, though, because I'm away at Dusseldorf on a stag do on Friday. So
wow, yeah.
that'll be a good drink. Yeah. I'm actually going for my younger brother who's 10 years younger than us. It's one of his best friends, stag do's, and I've known them for, the whole life. But everyone I'm going with, they're all like 10 years younger. They're all like in their 30s and that. I sort of second guess myself. Should I be going? I'm going to feel like the old man of the group,
This is why he's been going to the gym.
This is why I've been going to the gym. I try to get myself a bit into shape. Hey, I was there this morning, 6 o'clock.
Were you again?
Yeah,
I bet you Tuesday he gives that up.
Probably. Anyway, Steve, so I really appreciate you coming on, mate. You've been fantastic. It's been good to get a good insight inside your business, and thanks a lot for your time.
Thanks ever so much. I've really enjoyed it, guys, and good to catch up. We'll probably see you somewhere along the line at an awards or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
We might even get you back on sometime in the future. See how things are going.
Definitely.
Yeah, great.
Brilliant.
Thanks for coming on, Steve. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
For all the watchers and listeners out there, just remember to like and subscribe the video and turn that notification bell on. And again, I'll mention it again like I did in the last pod. If you are in the motor trade, or if you work surrounding the motor trade, or you have a product that will benefit the motor trade, please reach out to us at hello@dealerway.co.uk about coming on the podcast. If you'd like to come on the podcast, because we are now actively looking for more guests, maybe a little bit on the peripheral of the motor trade as well, so get some different kind of guests on. But yeah, thanks for that, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers, Steve. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers. Guys.
See you guys.
Thanks a lot.